Hello and welcome back to All My Art and Soul. I'm Michelle Holden, and this week I thought I would take a break. I needed a break from the larger work. I miss my abstract art journaling, and as you can see, I've started to make and I'm still exploring the kind of collage papers that I want to make, the marks. I know the colors that I need, and using that time with my jelly plate printer to explore different blues, as I've had some videos before. And so this abstract art journaling sketchbook has been calling me, and I answered the call. So I just decided to activate it very simply with pencil, and I may follow some lines, I may not. I don't know. I just love activating it with drawing. This is the teal, and I will list the colors, which haven't changed much, just because I'm really trying to stick with the palette. Maybe add one color, change a color, and until I really see all of the very subtle values and saturations of color that I can get from, I think, about 3 colors. So I will be uploading next week my second, and I know a subscriber has mentioned that Exploring Color series. I've only done one with the color grid, etc., and then doing just sort of an experimental abstract, moving the colors around so I can have a reference. So I'm starting to learn more about color because I'm ready for that. And I don't know about any of you, but I can't learn anything new piling it on to all the other stuff that I need to learn unless I need it. So I'm ready for color, and now I'm going to deep dive. So as you can see, we have, that's either yellow oxide or yellow ochre. The correct color name will be in the descriptions. Yellow Hansa, nickel azo gold, teal, and turquoise. So the collage papers were made with the same colors, omitting the nickel azo and the yellows, of course, with the same blues, because I love treating collage the same hues for that subtlety. And I'm trying to find, I think I'm going the direction of less commercialized, meaning with stencils. But if I'm going to use a stencil, I want to soften it so it's more like in the background. And so that piece is really cool. I'm using newsprint. I'm seeming to really like the more neutral tones of newsprint because the lighter really shows up, and it's just a beautiful mid-tone. It really absorbs though. So before if you're going to put another layer on top, I usually put a nice coat of the medium, which is a high gloss, heavy gloss medium. Okay, so there's that teal. And I'm just playing around. I'm still experimenting how much collage I want, and that's why I love abstract art journaling. It is the best way to explore your voice, your marks, your authentic self. So, welcome everyone, or anyone who is new to the channel. This channel is mostly about affirmation art journaling, abstract art journaling, mixed media collage, and loving these turquoise circles, again on that beautiful neutral. I just love circles. I never knew I loved circles so much, but now I want to play around and experiment with them in many different ways. So, yes, snipping them off because I like the ends to have a cropped piece, a crop shape. It's just, I feel it's more interesting. And sometimes I'll use the scissors and get the exact width, other times not, and so I use the X-Acto knife. As you can see, if you're new to the channel, the dot stencil up there, I believe it's like organic circles or organic dots on Stencil Girl. And using some of the same color collage, overlapping, creating that cruciform or that alignment kind of thing that seems to be my style. I just love it. Excuse me. So I know that wants to go there somewhere. Maybe not. But as you can see, I've grabbed my bag of Ziploc bag and I store all of my collage papers by color. And this is a piece of tracing paper, sort of like parchment tracing paper. It's a little waxier and it tends to curl up, but I like it for its transparency. Deli paper is great too, which I have. And I know there's lots of deli wrap products out there, but being in Ontario, Canada, I have not yet had the privilege to go search, but I know when I can, I'm going to head to one of those kitchen or those gourmet places that definitely would have them, hopefully in bulk. And you see the pencil, when you have drawing elements, color and shapes, it is a fantastic difference. And it just adds and makes that eye travel around. So I wasn't liking because it was too much the same with the area below, this color area, or what do we call it? Some people call them stripes. They're really not stripes. They're just color areas, no, I forget. The name will come to me. It's one of these days. So if you are liking this channel, the content, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button at least, and it will tell the algorithm of our wonderful YouTube and help me grow this channel. Oh, okay, yes, and I seem to love putting it on the back, and it just wants to go there. And actually that's a good spot, because notice the contrast. It's not a high contrast, and it's also different from the blue below it. And you can see a little bit of the marks. So ultimately, I may have wanted, or will next time, put some darker lines through there, horizontal or wavy or whatever, and just so you can see something underneath that layer. It just adds that interest. Yeah, I don't know what it is with this skinny piece. I think it's not so much the shape, and I'm not thinking about it because, of course, I don't want to think so much. It's that color of that blue. And I use this similar collage on my mixed media series, my small 8" by 8" and 10" by 10" on my website. If you hop on over there, it's buy my original art, purchase my original art, and it's my most current work, and it's called The Edge of Knowing. And I just love that title. It's so perfect. We are on the edge, everyone. Okay, loving that. So you see how that's sort of emulating the paper collage piece above it? So it's similar, but it's not the same. And there's your difference there. And it's really cool. So using the child's art stamping kit that I got at my local dollar store. I believe it was Dollar Tree, but of course this is Canadian, so, And it was in the arts and crafts section. The bright colors attracted me with those nice little handles, and I just couldn't resist. It was so cheap, and the sponge on the stamps are really nice and firm. And it will be useful to me as long as I remember to clean it when I'm done. All right, so I couldn't do more circles, of course, but I want that reflection or similarity. So I made 7 squares, and I'm going to glue them across horizontally. This paper has a shine to it. It's a package of handcrafted or collage. I forget how you would call these type of papers, but you get them in a package, and it's such a mix. It's almost like a surprise. So those go there because I only want a subtle difference, and we're really playing a lot with horizontal, the direction, your direction of lines, your directions of shapes can also be a difference. So your directionality, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, which I never gave enough thought of. So all of these things we're learning and we're adding to our schema of marks. Okay. So I'm like, and this was a good decision because it just pushed those circles back, lessened the contrast, and now because those two horizontal areas they're like fighting each other for focus, and so now the squares are in the forefront. I really want some kind of yellowish, ochreish contrast. And I do believe, yes, I do go with this natural paper. It was just wrapping paper, really stretchy. You can find the most interesting kind of papers as gift wrap. And then I just used, I think that's ink. I don't think it's ink, it would have absorbed it. I think it's acrylic. And I just did just writing across. Or writing like marks, which I love. Loving this color. This color, I believe, this blue was created with the teal and manganese blue. And the teal from Golden, not the turquoise, which you see up there on the right near my color shaper. And it's such a beautiful light color. The manganese blue, which is super transparent, adds so much blueness to it. Now, playing around with my old encyclopedia pages, those were just out from the last week's series of 4 paintings. So if you are just found my channel, or if you haven't checked out how to be a little more productive using a series, and that was just a series of 4. I've done series of 6, 9, 12, and more. And it is really cool, especially if you're working in small ones. And when they all relate, say if they're all maybe matted and framed, or just glued onto a cradle board and then glossed up with the edges. Oh, it's so cool. And so check out my Facebook community. We are a very laid back and very sharing group. And this week, I'm adding a different video, which is great because I know I've been doing this, a bit of the same thing, but it's just where I'm at. And which I do Studio Sundays. So every Sunday there, I put up a little tip or a little something that I'm currently working on. It has to be current. Otherwise, I'm just creating more videos and making more work for myself, and I'm not doing that. This is the journey, this is the current journey that I'm on now, and that's what my videos are about. So my work and my journey has to come first, and then I'm recording it, not trying to come up with something to record for my channel. It just wouldn't work that way. I wouldn't do it. It's just, and that's probably, and I have to accept that, but that's what it's about, because at least right now I would have so much time into, I'm a full-time teacher. So until this is my full-time gig, but I love it. So I'm trying to squeeze everything in. And don't forget, if you see that little symbol under the video, and I know this is the first time, or I think I've mentioned it before, if you want to buy me a coffee, anything, if you're liking the content, hit that little charm and buy me a coffee. Okay, and then the sooner I can get doing this full time, the more content we will have, and a variety. So as you can see, the images weren't working. It was just too much attention away from what was already there, but I love my text. So I'll just grab little pieces of text, and if it resonates, I'll go, oh yeah, that'll be really good. So I found another piece, but stay tuned to the end and you will see it. So that's my little shape puncher. Certain papers work and create a really nice crisp edge, but this handcrafted stuff, it takes a bit, so that's why I was trimming it with the scissors, and that's what it needed. So it is standing out quite a bit, and I'm wanting to put a little bit more punch of orange in there, but not circles, just a little smear of orange with the nickel azo gold. So that's pretty cool. And I changed that whole section in there, so stay tuned. And then I want to push that shape back a little bit. I don't want it standing out. So I like things hidden, and that seems to be part of the meaning of what I'm doing as well. So partly showing, partly hidden. Okay, going right to that edge. And this is white tape. It's just half an inch thick. And what I do when I put it around is I put the gloss, the heavy gel gloss, on the paper first so it doesn't stick as much and lift the paper and tear. So after that layer of paint on top of the circles dried, I realized I just need a little bit more. So I use the brayer to also lift paint off and put paint down. It's a great tool. So yes, and I remember these areas are referred to as color fields. So there's been some very famous color field painters, but just taking some of that theory and making it your own is really cool. And I have yet to learn more about that. And that's why right now I'm currently learning more about color. And I do that, I don't record that stuff, but if there's tips or anything that I'm learning, I will definitely be sharing those with you in the near future. This is Teal, and this is pretty straight from the tube. It's a beautiful mid-tone. So I'm thinking, okay, a little more line. That's really making it interesting. So it looks lighter on the dark background, darker on the light background, and then of course 3s, always odd numbers. 5 color fields, 7 color fields, thirds. Sometimes it's 6, but that's besides the point. But that's the general idea. Okay, cleaning that orange up so it's nice and crisp. And waiting for it to dry. I think I'm done, but I'm not. Of course. There we go. So as it was drying, now I haven't glued those down yet, I found and loved, that was just off to the side on the left. I thought, you know what? I really need to do something different here. And these reminded me of my, rows of, of houses or pentagons or whatever. And that's what attracted me to put them down, because I put the little one, my one that I love to use all the time. And that little piece that I'm putting behind it was part of an old text, table of contents, and all the repeated dots going from the name to the page. The title to the page. So, and I really like that. It's amazing what you can find and what tiny pieces you use. And loving that neutral, that old faded, and I think that's what was on this paper. And of course, I'm putting a good coat, because it's newsprint. And you'll see at the end, so stay to the end when you see the close-up of the image when I take a picture and edit it. And I really liked, the word spoke to me, so they went in. Some of the Posca markers don't work very well. I'm noticing that. So that's rather frustrating. So only my bright orange works, so I didn't want bright orange on there. So here we go with the hairdryer, the great reveal of the clean edge, which I love and I hope you love. And again, if you're enjoying this content, learning, please subscribe, share, and like this video. Oh, yes, the acrylic inks. I thought, you know what we need to finish this off? A little dot of gold on each square. And that just added the punch it needed. I'm so glad. After sitting, I think I left the studio, came back, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm not done. And some more inks. Very dark green. And I'm really liking that, but I'm not sure. So I just leave a little bit. Easy to lift off because I have a layer of gloss on there. So now here we go. And loving that dark on the bottom to the lighter light to the top. It makes the eye go all the way up. I didn't write the date or anything on the bottom of this, but now when I went to look at it for the voiceover that I'm doing right now, the previous one didn't have a date either. It was just exploring more blues, exploring blue. And that's what I'm doing with my big 24 by 24. It's not that big, it's still medium, but compared to art journaling, it's quite large. And I'm enjoying just a very simple palette, 4 colors tops, and very similar to these colors. Yeah, so just cleaning up those edges. And of course the flat brush is great, but that's a little lighter, but it'll dry darker, and I'll check it out later. So here we go. Here's the big reveal. And I hope you enjoyed this abstract art journaling page. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to hop over to my Facebook group. I've got a new video for today, and I will see you soon.